Alright then my friends, so a big part of most websites is user input in some way, shape or form. Whether that's on a contact form, or updating a profile page, or writing on a message board. And we need a way to work with forms and the data that a user inputs within React. So I'm going to show you how we can do that, or rather introduce you to how we can do that. So you can see already what I've done is stripped back our component and template. So now all I'm doing is I'm storing these on the state still, and I'm just outputting a h1 here to say my name is this.state.name, and we can see that very simply in the browser right there. So all this is very simple at the minute. Now what I'd like to do is create a simple form, just a single input field where a user can type in their name. That's going to update the state on the fly, and update obviously therefore where we output it as they type in. And then when they click on submit, it's going to log their name to the console. All right. So then let's get started with this form. Underneath the H1 over here, we'll create a form tag first of all and close that off. Now inside the form tag, and make sure you spell that correctly, we want just a single input field. So let's say input, the type is going to be equal to text. So type text, and then we'll just close it off like so. All right, now underneath we need a button, and this is going to be a submit button like so. All right, so that's our simple HTML or JSX for the form. Very simple, like I said. We're going to type a name in here, and then we're going to submit it. And as we type in here, I want it to update on the fly over here. All right. So then how do we do that? How do we detect when a user is typing inside this input field and then change the state, the name over here, based on what they type? Well, pretty simply, we use an event, so we say on, then the event name for this is change. And this fires every time there's a change of value inside this input field. So every time a user types a new letter or deletes a letter, etc. So we want to equal that to a function that's going to fire every time there is a change. But first of all, we need to define that function. So let's call this handle change. And remember, we're going to use the state inside here. So we need an arrow function so we can get the value of this inside the function. So remember, to change the state, we say this.set state, because we're going to change the state every time a user changes the input field, right? So this.set state, and inside we want to change the name property. But how do we get the value of whatever the user has typed in here? Because that's what we want to change it to. Pretty simply, we have access to the event object, so we can say e, and we can grab the target element, which is the input field, by saying e.target. Now on this target, we have a property called value, and that is going to get the value of whatever is inside this input field at the moment that this function fires, this handle change function. So every time a user types, it's going to fire this, it's going to set the state and change it to the value of whatever is currently inside this input field. Does that make sense? All right, so let's give this a quick whirl. We'll reference the function down here, this.handle change like so, save it and go over to the browser. And I'm going to change this to Yoshi, and you can see as we type over here, it's updating on the fly in the browser over here where we output it as well. So that's cool, that's all working. That's how we keep track of what a user is typing into an input field. All right, so now the next thing we want to do is react when the form is submitted, either when a user clicks enter or clicks submit, because at the minute the default behavior is just to refresh the page. We don't want that. We want to take the value of the state, the name in the state, and log it to the console. So first of all, we need to go over here to the form and add on an onSubmit event handler. All right, now you might have thought that we do an onClick here. Now that would work for when a user clicks on the button, but not when they click enter, because an enter also submits the form. So by doing onSubmit instead up here, we're capturing the enter if a user clicks enter to submit, or whenever a user clicks on a button inside the form as well. So that captures both of those. All right, so we need to define the function which is going to be called when a user submits this form. So let's come under here and say handle submit, set that equal to an arrow function, take the event object, And inside here, we want to first of all prevent the default action of a form being submitted. Now, remember, when we submit a form, the default action is for the page to refresh. I can type a load of stuff in there, submit, the page refreshes. We want to prevent that default event behavior. Now, the way we do that in JavaScript, and this is just normal JavaScript, is by saying e.prevent default. And now, that is going to prevent the default behavior of the event being submitted, i.e. to prevent the page from being refreshed. So first of all, we need to reference this handle submit over here. So we can say this.handle submit. So reference that. So now when we submit the form over here, we can type in a load of stuff, Yoshi, and then press submit. And nothing is logged to the console, but at least we've prevented the page from being refreshed now. All right. Cool. So the next thing we want to do is log out the name to the console. So let's say console.log, and we'll say form submitted, like so, and then we'll also log out this.state.name. So if we save that now and come over here to the browser, I'm going to type in Mario and then submit, and we can see form submitted Mario. Cool. So there we go. That is your introduction to forms. We are going to be working with forms in much more depth as we go through the rest of the course. I wanted to give you just a little primer now so that when we come across them later on, it's not brand new to you. All right, so I think a lot of the basics of React have been covered now, and we want to take it up a notch. So in the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can use Create React App to create a full application so that we don't have to have our components in a script tag down here, but we have a full React setup for a full web application. So I'm going to show you how we do that in the next video.